Thank you very much, Peter, sharing with us that experience with the independence or the lack of independence of the judiciary in Ecuador. I would like to recognize, also welcome Honorable Representative Angel. We have our last panelist. He had agreed to do a shorter presentation. Henry Dahl will share with us a proposal of a reform on the Foreign Sovereignty Immunity Act in relation to the violation of human rights and the lack of judicial independence. Henry is the Secretary General of the Inter-American Bar Association. Welcome, Henry.
Es un honor poder hablar ante ustedes esta mañana. Me han pedido que sea breve y lo seré. I have been asked also to speak in English, and I will. The title of my presentation is Proposal for an Amendment of the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act for Human Rights Violations. This morning, we have heard up to now horror stories about awful things that are happening in Latin America, basically because of a collapse of the legal system. I think we have an answer to that. From an American point of view, the answer would be to enact a seventh exception to the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. And this is an exception that could be exported to Latin American countries. And what I'm going to read to you now is the exception that I have drafted for the American Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, but it could be crafted for any Latin American country willing to enact it. And this plays into what another recurrent theme here, which has been this rule of silence. Why is it that when we look at Latin America as a whole, we see that there are some rogue countries who violate human rights constantly, and then there are other countries that are perfectly legitimate countries who don't say anything about it. Now, enacting an exception to the Foreign Sovereign Immunities law, whether in the States or in other Latin American countries, would be a way of breaking this wall of silence. What I have prepared is this. We have here in the States, we have the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, which has 6 exceptions up to now. I propose a 7th exception. It would be that a foreign state shall not be immune from the jurisdiction of courts of the United States or of the states in any case, and here the new exception kicks in. Number 7, in which money damages are sought against a foreign state for human rights violations as determined by an international organization where, and now we have 3 conditions. A, the legality of such international organization has been recognized by the United States. B, the decision relies on international legislation compatible with the United States legal system. And C, at the time of the violation or at the time of enforcement, the victim is a U.S. national or resident. This is Formula A, which I suppose, which is drafted to be more palatable and more resilient to attacks. But then I also have a Formula B, which says it shall not be immune from jurisdiction in any case in which the redress, not just monetary damages, but the redress is sought against a foreign state for human rights violations as determined by an international organization where, and then we keep only the first 2 requirements. The legality of such international organization has been recognized by the United States, and the decision relies on international legislation compatible with the U.S. legal system. whether it's Formula A or Formula B, this is a type of exception to foreign sovereign immunities that could be enacted by any Latin American country. And as I had promised that I was going to be brief, I will be. Thank you very much.